You know the exact feeling we're talking about. You get a full, solid 8 hours of sleep. You wake up and bam, you instantly hit a wall. There's this thick, heavy cloud of brain fog just sitting behind your eyes. And by noon, you are completely, utterly exhausted. Now, most people assume they just need to chug more caffeine. Or worse, they tell themselves they just lack discipline. Well, they are dead wrong. You are not lazy. What's actually happening is that you are actively blocking a literal, physical drainage system inside your own head. So, why does getting 8 hours of sleep still leave you feeling completely drained? The massive plot twist here is that brain fog and a lack of discipline are not psychological failings at all. They are a physical accumulation of neurotoxic waste. Your brain is literally swimming in metabolic garbage. It's not a mindset issue, it is a plumbing issue. For decades, scientists honestly thought the brain had no actual way to clear its own waste. But over just the last few years, everything changed. In 2015, we started getting some initial hints. By 2025, advanced cellular imaging finally caught up. And in 2026, the whole paradigm shifted. Researchers fully mapped the middle meningeal artery. They literally caught fluid moving steadily along this hidden internal network. They finally proved, without a doubt, that the human brain has a built-in plumbing hub. Enter the glymphatic system. Think of this as your brain's nightly, high-pressure power washing crew. See, your brain is a massive energy hog. It burns about 20% of your body's energy every single day. And all that intense cognitive exertion creates highly toxic byproducts. To survive, your body pushes cerebrospinal fluid into the brain, mixes it with all that accumulated waste, and physically washes it down that newly discovered drain. But here is the catch. It only works under one very specific condition. 60%. I want you to remember that number because it's the key to everything. This internal power washing system, it does not run while you are awake. It only kicks into high gear during stage 3 NREM deep sleep. When you hit that deep sleep phase, your brain cells literally physically shrink. The empty space between them expands by 60%. And that massive structural expansion inside your skull is exactly what opens the floodgates. And when those floodgates open, the fluid rushes in to target 3 highly critical metabolic hazards. First, amyloid beta, which is the exact same protein closely linked to Alzheimer's disease. Then you have tau protein, and finally, lactic acid. This massive rush of fluid physically washes away these incredibly toxic byproducts, but if you don't get deep, uninterrupted sleep, the space never expands, the wash cycle literally never triggers, and you wake up with yesterday's toxic waste just sitting there, trapped inside your skull. So where does all that toxic waste actually sit? Right here, in the prefrontal cortex. You can think of this area as your brain's CEO office. It is the center of your focus, your discipline, and your decision-making. And because of that, it is highly metabolically expensive to run. When this executive office gets completely gunked up by uncleared waste, it causes a profound, heavy physiological exhaustion. And this is the exact same exhaustion that we constantly, unfairly mislabel as just a lack of motivation. To put this into perspective, the contrast is just stark. A rested prefrontal cortex is a highly efficient machine. It fires with fast, sharp gamma waves. But a waste-laden prefrontal cortex, it has to consume 20 to 30% more glucose just to reach a baseline function. The neural firing slows way down. The actual physical transmission of signals is impeded. Basically, your brain is burning significantly more fuel to produce much, much worse results. Which brings us to an absolutely crucial biological reality. Listen to this closely. Willpower is physiologically unavailable, not psychologically unavailable, physiologically unavailable. When your brain's internal energy conservation system detects that massive metabolic tax from all that leftover waste, discipline becomes physically impossible. Your brain literally forces you to reach for your phone. It forces you to choose the path of least resistance. But if you fix the biology, the discipline returns automatically. So how do we actually fix the biology? How do we start clearing out this massive biological debt? Well, it all starts with the rewiring protocol, and the first step is purely mechanical. We're talking about lateral sleeping versus supine sleeping. Sleeping on your side physically optimizes the perivascular fluid dynamics in your brain. The research literally shows that side sleeping gives you 25% greater clearance efficiency than sleeping flat on your back. It is a completely zero-cost upgrade to your brain's plumbing system. Next, we have to absolutely guarantee that stage 3 NREM deep sleep actually happens. To do that, follow these strict mechanical steps. 1. Absolutely no alcohol or heavy meals 3 hours prior to bed. Digesting simply blocks restorative deep sleep, period.
2. Complete cognitive offloading 60 minutes before bed. No intense doom scrolling, no late night working. You literally have to lower your norepinephrine to let adenosine take over and make you sleepy. And 3. Drop your room temperature to somewhere between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Your core body temperature must drop to trigger that deep sleep wash cycle.
But look, the work doesn't just stop when you wake up. You need to implement what we call daily neural amplifiers. As Dr. Sid Warrior highlights in his clinical breakdown of this, you need a minimum of 2.5 liters of water a day. Cerebral spinal fluid is literally made of water. Dehydration halts the drainage system in its tracks. Next, get some aerobic exercise. It actively pumps the fluid dynamics and boosts a chemical called BDNF to give you that sharp focus. Support your brain structurally with omega-3s and B12. And finally, you have to manage your stress and cortisol levels through things like journaling. High stress slows down the prefrontal cortex all on its own. You have to protect it at all costs.
Which brings us to the final architectural verdict. Your executive command center is either being washed clean or it is slowly being drowned in its own waste every single night. The choice of which one happens is entirely up to the protocols you put in place today. So, ask yourself tonight as your head hits the pillow, are you preparing for a power wash or are you drowning your own mind? If this video has challenged your thinking and added value to your life, please support us by subscribing to the channel. And yes, make sure to share this video with at least 2 of your friends so they can add value to their lives as well.